Hello, my soul friends. It is Victoria. I'm laughing because I'm just trying to simply sit down and do a video for you all, and one little obstacle after another, which is all good, right? Here we are, moving towards the full moon in Aries. Um, and I'm just wondering how you're all feeling, how you're all doing. We have just gone through a Mercury retrograde. We still have a few other planets in retrograde. Some are going direct. In fact, Pluto's going direct any day now. I don't have the exact date in front of me, but we're starting to move direct with these planets that have been retrograding, helping us. Yes, helping us. Retrogrades help us to reflect, review, all the RE words in areas of our life that needed our focus, our attention. For what purpose? So that we can reconfigure, restore, revision, redo, set ourselves up on a stronger foundation to move forward with our purpose and claiming our potential. So all is purposeful. You know, when I talk about astrology and I do these full and new moon videos, I try to just focus in on what I intuitively pick up as like sort of the theme, the juicy part of the lunation cycle. I could go for hours and hours in all the different aspects, but I want to just tune in where I'm called, and may it serve you. That's the purpose of this channel, the Soul Nurturer channel. I am a healer, a hypnotherapist, a soul coach, a soul guide, a spiritual director. Lots of things I've collected on my journey. Primarily, I identify with the archetype of a wounded healer. And this full moon is certainly highlighting the wounded healers, which all of us are in some way or another. So before I get into my take on the full moon, just take a moment to sit with me if you can. I know a lot of you just listen to these. If you have a couple minutes to sit down, pour yourself a cup of tea, sit down, connect to yourself. And my wish, my goal here is that something that comes through me in support of you really does land in a meaningful way. And let me know if it does. Of course, I invite you to subscribe if you haven't. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time stopping by. Like and comment. The comments below my videos really help generate the push to get me out into the bigger public streams out there. So I really appreciate every like and comment, and just knowing that you're with me on this journey. So before I talk about that, I have a few announcements. One is, last full moon I went live for the first time, and it was really fun. I did it spontaneously. A couple people joined me. I do want to go live again tomorrow, the day before the full moon on October 8th. I haven't selected a time yet. And I'm thinking I'll offer a full moon reflection, a guided reflection. So if you're interested in that, comment below. And I haven't selected a time yet, so let me know what time may work best for you. And I'll average out the time. Right now I'm kind of open. I'm not sure. I was thinking about 11 a.m. Pacific time, but I may go a little bit later depending on what we're doing. We may go for a hike. So but I do want to offer these lives more often because I love the spontaneity of it, and I love interacting with others. That's where I work best. Talking to a camera is just kind of like, it's a stretch for me. My magic, my medicine comes through when I'm sitting across from someone or interacting with someone. Anyway, so that's that. And then the other thing is that on Wednesday, October 12th at 5 p.m. Pacific time, I will be joining Julia Anderson from Peak Consciousness. Whoops. That's her Facebook page. It's her business name, but she offers a once a month around the full moon, before or after, and this happens to be after, but full moon breath work, breath empowerment work. And I've been joining her to kind of talk about the full moon energy, or the phase of the moon that her group meets. So that's open to everyone. So I'll put a link in the details for her Facebook page, but you could just go there and like her page, Peak Consciousness, and it's October 12th at 5 p.m. And I think breathwork is the perfect support for full moon energy because it helps us integrate what we're working on and what the lessons, what's been brought to our awareness, what's been illuminated, and restore the body mind system and align us for that potential. Okay. All right. So here we are, still in Libra season. It's funny. I did a video last year. I think I started doing these moon videos last year, and my full moon in Aries around Libra season, I also had a decorative background. I had, a beautiful picture behind me. Today I have flowers. This is so Libra, right? We have been in Libra season now. And if you watch my new moon video on Libra, I suggested that we would be working on balance and in relationships. And Libra season is always also bringing us more awareness about our creativity, what we love, what we value, and where we've been out of balance there. So this full moon, from what I can feel into the theme of, it's inviting us to emerge more of ourself, our soul potential, our goals, our desires, our and what's been illuminated through relationships. So it's through relationships that the mirror back to us, the perfect mirror back to our stuff, relationships. And I'm not just talking about intimate relationships, I'm talking about family relationships, any dynamic with relationships. This is how we get to see ourselves more clearly, and definitely, especially with this full moon, where our woundedness is revealed. So this full moon is inviting us to have learned through the experiences of relationships, the mirrors, what's being mirrored, reflected back to us, for the purpose of healing, for the purpose of emerging more of our potential and rising up. So Libra, the sun in Libra, is all about we, partnerships, relationships. Aries moon is me. It's all about me. So my take is, what are we emerging through what we've learned through our research and relationships? I always call relationships the research laboratory. Like, we learn a lot about ourselves, what we've learned about relationships through our family of origin and through the current relationship we're in, all for the purpose of emerging more of our soul potential, more of our possibilities. So we're moving from we energy of Libra to me, not in a selfish way, but in a way that, what are you here to contribute? What have you learned? What strengths have been birthed out of your challenges, right? And also, what light wants to shine through you, right? And it reminds me of the lyrics from, Leonard Cohen's song, Anthem, that it's often quoted. Let's see. So it's, ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That is how the light gets in. This also reminds me of a story I used to share in some of my workshops, and it's too long to share now, but it's called The Cracked Pot. I used to read it at the beginning of every workshop, and it's a long story, but it's basically the same idea. Where there is a crack is where the light gets in. Where there is a crack is where our gifts flow through our woundedness. And of course, I'm speaking to how the possibilities of this full moon may, and I like to say may, I don't like to say definitively this is what it's going to be like for you, because you are the expert of you and your unfolding journey, and that's between you and your creator. These are possibilities. I do think of astrology as guidance from creator. I think that as we learn, as the ancients did, to track the celestial movements and how they correspond with our human unfolding is pretty significant, and I definitely think it's from creator. So I'm talking about how it impacts us, how it may impact us individually, but mostly collectively. As we do our inner work, I just made a post today on my Instagram, and if you're not following me there, that is, I am the Soul Nurturer at Instagram, on Instagram. And I try to post daily there, not always. I'm really pulled inward a lot these days. I've got a lot of projects going on. and my own healing. So right now, this is the full moon is really illuminating our personal and collective healing again. I mean, we have been going through this for the last 2 years, right? There's a theme here. There's a theme of sort of being pressurized to strengthen our gifts, to cleanse and clear what's in the way of our way, I like to say. And so leading up to this full moon, the sun has been opposite Chiron. So this full moon is really connected to Chiron a lot. Chiron is it's the wounded healer. It represents our represents our core wounds and how we work to overcome them, and I call it the soul medicine we cultivate to help heal ourselves and heal others. Chiron it's a minor planet. Some say it's an asteroid. I think the recent information I found on it was classified as a minor planet, and it is named after in mythology that Chiron, the centaur, who was a healer, a philosopher, a teacher, whose entire life was about healing and helping others while trying to heal himself. Does anybody relate to that? I know I sure do. I think that this archetype, that Jung coined this phrase, wounded healer, there should be a picture of me next to it, okay? I mean, my whole journey, my whole life, and I embrace it. I encourage you to embrace your wounds. Again, that is where the light gets in. That is where our gifts flow through. And that is where we cultivate, as I like to say, and I think I came up with this with my clients, where we cultivate our soul medicine. And I have so much more to say about this, but let's stay on the full moon. So, it's like when I look at a chart for someone, the soul chart, I call it a soul chart because to me, it's such a sacred honor to look at someone's chart because I feel like I'm looking at soul potential. And so I also like to look at where Chiron is in the chart because that is where my client's medicine comes from. And so here this full moon is illuminating that, where the sun has been leading up to the full moon in opposition to Chiron. This is connected to our identity, our self, our way of being in the world, and how we bring our light to the world. So I wonder if any of you in common, if you have been feeling or become more present to your own wounds. Maybe some old stuff has been churned up, and remember, when it's churned up like that, it's just showing you what is still needing tending, reclaiming, restoration, healing, and dealing with all that needs to be healed, right, on the inner. So, and because Chiron is opposite the sun is connected to yang energy, or like father, masculine. Some of your father wounds may be arising, or wounds from the patriarchy, or wounds where you as women in particular haven't embraced your masculine energy. And this moon in Aries is really calling us to that. Aries energy is all about being assertive and bold and taking lead in your life, trailblazing new ways, initiating action that supports you. And again, as we're coming from the we energy to the me, this isn't selfish. This is purposeful, because your gifts are needed on the planet right now. And, because the masculine energy around the patriarchy, it was all about competition. And sometimes Aries is connected to that, likes to compete, likes to be number one, likes to be the best. But we're shifting to a time where all contributions matter and are needed, right? So you may notice that there's a rise of energy of assertiveness. Maybe you notice it as anger, like you're angry where you felt held back or disappointed or unable to do what you want to do. Well, this is the time to rise with this. So also on the day of the full moon, Venus, the planet of love, connected to relationships, creativity, money, what we value, is also opposite Chiron. So again, we're still in Libra season, reviewing relationships, learning more about relationships. this may be, where have we been wounded in relationships, relationships in family of origin, current relationships. And again, this is where we're wounded, is where it's the portal. I was just talking to a friend of mine who was looking at my chart today, and I was looking at how closely Chiron is next in aspect to my natal Jupiter. And I'm about to have a Jupiter return, but there's Chiron sitting right there, the wounded healer. And I said, okay, I'm going to reframe this to look at this as Chiron is not in the way. It's not blocking my blessings. It is the gateway to my blessings. And that felt so much better to see it that way. And Chiron, even though it sounds like, oh, a wounded healer, oh, our wounds. No, it comes with such gifts, such potent gifts that are unique to us because our wounds are unique, our family of origin is unique, our unfolding of our life's journey is unique, and our soul is unique. Okay, so, and we're not done with Chiron yet. On the day of the full moon, which I didn't even mention, did I? October 9th. And let me just scroll back up before I go back to the moon and Chiron. October 9th at 1:55 p.m. Pacific time. And this is happening at 16 degrees Aries. So 16 degree, the sun is at 16 degrees Libra, and the moon is at 16 degrees Aries. So that is what a full moon is, opposite, 180 degrees away from each other. And full moon actually only is exact for a few seconds, but we do feel the energy 3 days before, 3 days after. And and I want to say this, that this is general what I'm talking about, but where it is lit up in your chart is where the activity is in your life. So for instance, this full moon is in my 3rd house, communications, relationship with siblings, short trips, but expressing or communicating. And the sun is in my 9th house. So that is about, like the sun is now transiting my 9th house, which is about philosophy and learning, higher learning, and philosophy of what the meaning of life and what it means to me, and teaching about that. So that's the area in my chart that's lit up. So if you'd like to know where this full moon is impacting you, contact me. I will put my website in the details as well. I love looking at soul charts. They are very inspiring to people because it helps normalize our experience, and it helps us reconnect to hope and possibilities that come with us when we're birthed into this world. Okay, so let me go back down to Chiron conjuncting the moon on the full moon. So let me go back. I lost my place. That's okay. It's a good time to take a breath with me here. Okay, well, the moon is conjuncting Chiron during the full moon, the day of the full moon, and a day before and a day after, we'll feel this. And so the moon, especially with the full moon, our emotions, our subconscious material. It's also yin, it's the feminine. So we've got this aspecting, again, where have we been wounded? Again, I know some men watch this, and I thank you, but a lot of my clients are female, and so where have we been wounded as women in a core way that has held us back, that has held our purpose, our power back? So this is showing us where we still need to heal in order to reclaim our power, to stand more boldly in our life, to stand up for ourselves. Aries is also connected to the warrior, to be our own personal warrior, to fight for our place in the world, to fight, to open a lane for our gifts. And this is really, I know I'm really experiencing this a lot right now. So let's see. I'm not going to go into all the aspects. There are just so many. But I think that, again, we're being invited, if I could just break this down to a small bite-size focus. This full moon is inviting us to look at where we feel weakened, where we're wounded, where in the past maybe we shut down because we felt held back by our wounds. That let the full moon illuminate, like this beautiful sun in Libra wants to show us the beauty in our brokenness, the beauty in our potential, and our beauty and the gifts that want to come out of the scattered broken places of our life. I often reference this when I work with grief clients that, grief, and we are, collectively going through huge grief cycles, because life as we know it is changing, it's shifting, it's transforming. And in a lot of ways it feels shattered and broken, right? Or we're trying to make sense of the brokenness. Well, at some point the brokenness will make sense because we'll make a beautiful new mosaic of that. And all of these broken pieces will come together. And in the heart of that mosaic will be what I feel is more of our unique contribution. It takes the willingness to contribute individually to the highest and greatest good of the collective. And I feel like this is what this full moon is calling us to have courage, to have bravery, to continue to, fight the good fight. But with this full moon energy of Libra, the lover, and Aries ruled by Mars, the warrior, fighting for what we love, fighting to bring more of what we love into the world. And I know that sounds almost like an oxymoron, fighting for love, but I've learned a lot in my long life when I reflect on my life and places I didn't fight for the things I loved or the people I loved. And I just kind of went, it's okay, no worries. And it's really an interesting place of discernment to discern when you're meant to fight and when you're meant to just be the peaceful warrior, where you see the higher potential unfolding and you trust the creator with all that's happening. And so, but it may be a time when you do confront something that hasn't been working in your life, in relationship, in whatever's been holding your light back or hiding your light. This may be, it's important sometimes, especially with the full moon, where we shed what isn't working in relationship season, that those relationships that are not, I just made a post today about, let me see if I can find it because I love this quote. Those relationships that are dimming our light. It's a hard call, but you have to be honest. It's a time to be real about that. Where is the relationship dimming your light and not contributing to your soul fire? And the quote is from Rumi: "Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames." Rumi. So we have this just powerful soul potential that wants to be ignited and just illuminated out into the world to spark and inspire others. But if others are throwing shade your way or dampening your light by throwing water, or that will never work, or you can't do that because putting out your fire, this may be a time to get real and say, okay, I'm feeling empowered right now, but I'm also feeling disempowered by some relationships or some old agreements from the past, the agreements you made about yourself based on relationship in the past. So this is a time to set your life on fire. I think I didn't even mean to do this at synchronicity. I posted that quote today on my Instagram. And to me, it is the perfect quote for this full moon in Aries. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. Okay. And take care of your inner wounds and tend to them. Work with them, do your inner work. If you need support, reach out to me. I love doing inner work, and I love reclaiming the potential and the gifts from your wounded places and supporting my sister and brother wounded healers out there. So I think that's all I have for you today. Would love to know what you've been experiencing. Your shares about how the celestial movements have been impacting you. The astrological weather, what you're noticing, where you've been challenged, where you've been inspired. That helps me, especially if I've ever looked at your chart, to track these transits more powerfully. Okay. From my soul to yours, I just wish you all the best in your unfolding. Again, reach for support if you need it. It'd be my honor to join you on your unfolding journey. Stay connected through Instagram, through YouTube, share, and share this video if you're called, like and subscribe, and comment. Okay, take good care, and until next time, be well. Bye.